Ahoy, hoy, my fellow adventurers. Barry here with your daily reminder that yes, sticks and stones can and will break bones. So be careful out there, boys and girls. Also, the 1.10 update for DayZ Standalone has finally hit the experimental branch. And this patch has a couple of long-awaited features, as well as some much-needed balancing. The main addition, though, is the much-needed missing broken bones. That's right. They're back, and they're better than ever. Breaks can be applied to the lower leg by either taking fall damage, brute force damage, or not paying your rent on time. Yikes. Breaking your legs will both turn you into a snake, and if you try to not be a snake, then you'll receive shock damage. To avoid a painful death from broken legs, you'll need to treat your fracture with a brand new and improved improvised splint. Applying a splint will add a stylish model of the splint to your character, which is apparently a placeholder right now, and less importantly, it will fix your fracture over time, blah blah blah. In more shocking news, a new shock type of damage has been added. Receiving shock damage will blur your vision and give you tunnel vision. A much needed balance to the temperature gameplay has also been added in 1.10. There's a lot of these changes, so I'm going to try my best to cover the important ones. Clothing items now have an indicator for the insulation value, so on top of choosing clothes that look fire on you, there's also that decision on how toasty you want to be. Base temperature behaviors, that's as in base level, not base building, has also been changed to have a warm afternoons and cold mornings sort of vibe. Being in a building will also negate the effects from wind, fog and altitude, and cover will do the same, but to a lesser degree. Wetness and insulation have all had balance passes. Automated drying is now more effective. The backpack is now taken into account for the heat comfort, and items will now cool down when in your inventory. No more heaty, meaty packs for you. And just like my leaked nudes, these changes were inevitable. And I, for one, am over the moon that they're out there. The changes, that is, not my nudes. And just in time for bonfire night, we now have fireworks, kind of, not really. Signal pistols have been added with flare rounds. You can use these to find your friends or lure prey to your position. They come in 4 beautiful colors: classic red, sunburst yellow, pine green, and ocean blue. Woodsmen rejoice! Some new threads are available for you to craft. Tanned leather is back and can be used to craft a whole new range of improvised clothing, although I only managed to figure out how to make the backpack. So, no hats, I guess. Everyone wanted to make a base, but never had the time nor patience to do one. Well, now you can. Improvised shelters can now be built to protect you from rain. There are 3 different types of tents you can make. That's a stick one, a leather one, and a tarp one. All of them require 4 long sticks and then different materials to make the different types. So 50 short sticks, wow. To make a improvised like sticky one, and then leather, tanned leather that is, to make a leather one, and then all you need is the tarp to make a fancy little tarp one. They're not just for keeping you high and dry, they also have inventory, so you can store all those secret knives that you're hoarding in your wood base. There's now more than one way to skin a cat, quite literally. Axes, saws, shovels, pickaxes, crowbars, and the screwdriver can now all be used to skin animals. They've finally run out of all those pesky preservatives in the land of Chernarus, as food will now decay. You can delay the decay by smoking/drying your foods, and to accommodate for this, there's now smoking slots, as well as cooking slots in the fires. So make some tasty beef jerky for your long journey. And it'll be best to keep an eye on the state of your food as well, because some major changes have been made to the medical system. Antibiotics and charcoal tabs take longer to take effect. Cholera and salmonella will now progress faster if left untreated, while influenza will progress slower, for some reason. Unlike cans of Heinz beans as well, pills can now be stacked, as well as split up, with the exception of vitamins, which can only be stacked for some reason. Don't worry, little bottle of vitamins. I also can't do the splits and people still kind of want me. If it sounds like diseases are a little OP, then you'll be happy to hear that player characters' immunity levels are now easier to get, so keep warm and drink lots of fluids to keep the bad germs away. Too many alcohol triggers last night? Not to worry, as using saline bags will also provide you with some hydration on top of the blood increase. Some small changes were made to the map as well. Boathouses have 2 doors instead of 1 for some reason. I mean, this hints towards boats being added, although I wouldn't hold your breath. Tell you what you do want to hold your breath for, though, when exploring the new coastal features found around the Prison Island area. More small islands were added leading up to the Prison One to make it easier to hop your way over. Punching walls when angry will result in the worst punishment of all: damaged gloves. Oh, and if you have a sexy pair of gloves, you'll start bleeding as well, something like that, so on. I mean, this isn't just punching walls, by the way, it's punching anything. Car engines can finally be repaired with a new pipe wrench model. This makes crashing your car a little less world-destroying now, which is always nice. Now all we need to do is stop people hoarding all the cars on the map. Car body parts can also be repaired using epoxy putty, so I guess you're not meant to eat that stuff. Well, the more you know. A new tarp item is now in spawns and can be used to repair tents as well as making the improvised tents I mentioned earlier. And if camping wasn't cozy enough, we now have a sweet heat effect over fires and road flares. And last, and by definitely no means least, dead bodies of players should now fall through walls less often. Hold for applause, take a bow, yes, all good. Bloody hell, what a beefy update it was this time round. Thank you for watching to the end though. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I sometimes make other videos as well, like this one, where I try to make friends on a deathmatch server. Anyway, it's time for me to jump in and actually play this new and exciting patch. Good luck my friends, and tally-ho!